Hey, welcome back. Thanks for being here. So today I want to talk to you about your internal world versus your external world. You know, we have this this persistent reality that we experience. We experience the physical world. We have sunshine and gravity and weather and things that are, fairly universally common depending on our geographic location, right? It might be raining on one side of town and not raining on the other side of town, but when it rains on your head, it's probably raining on the head of the person standing next to you. So we have that shared reality that we're being rained on. But then we also have this individual reality, the internal reality, right? The internal world where we observe that rain and we interpret that rain and we assign meaning to that rain. And we either splash around and enjoy ourselves and dance around in the rain, or we fume and fester and complain about the fact that it's raining on our head. And I bring this up because yesterday, we had a men's meeting here in the Austin area, and guys came. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Just gorgeous weather, sunshine, good warm temperatures. It's just a beautiful day. Probably the day that you want every day to be, really. And it was great because the weather forecast had been that it was going to rain all day and that there was only going to be a small window of sunshine, and that it was going to be like 96 degrees or something, right? Which can usually mean that rain and heat can mean humidity and steam and just uckiness. But yesterday was great. There was wind flow, but not too much wind flow. It wasn't like windy, but it wasn't stale. It didn't rain, maybe it rained on the other side of town, but it didn't rain here. We had a little bit of cloud coverage, but it wasn't overcast. It turned out to be about 90 degrees, but it was like a spring 90, not a summer, deep summer 90. It was great. It was great. It was a beautiful day. And I say that to say that we had 9 guys in the backyard, including myself, right? 8 other men and myself, and we sat around in a rectangle, an oblong circle, and we talked, and we ate barbecue, and we have beverages, and we just enjoyed ourselves. We enjoyed the weather. We sat in the shade. We talked. It was fantastic. And everybody seemed to be pretty much in the same spirit. We all were able to listen to each other and share our own opinions, and it just was great. I mean, we had deep conversations, right? There was at some point there was a conversation about Buddhism, and some point there was a conversation about people's background and experiences, and it just was a great day all around. Now, again, I'm saying all of that because even with all of that greatness, there was one gentleman in the group who just kind of had a rain cloud over his head, and he was hurt. He was hurt. He was upset by the things that he didn't think that he was going to be able to have in life. That he was in his mid 60s, and he was, feeling like he'd been trying for years to have the life that he had wanted to have, and he wasn't quite getting there, and it was just frustrating, and it was painful. And you could tell that and it was obvious to everybody. I mean, kind of everybody listened, and everybody gave him space, and everybody, accepted him and loved him. But at the same time, they loved him enough not to take on his reality as theirs, right? To be able to say, okay, hold on, wait a minute. What about these things that you're saying? Are those things true, right? To lovingly challenge him as a brother and say, I think what maybe you might not be, you might be looking at this from a very limited point of view. And of course he pushed back and had all of his reasons why, to support what he was experiencing, and also to kind of refute any sort of other options. And he was upset about it. Clearly hurt by his own thinking. Of course, there were external factors. There's always the external, the outside world, other people, circumstances, situations, and things like that. But he was not receptive to any other option except for the way that he thought it should go, and the way that he thought that life owed him these things, or should provide him these things. And that just kept him stuck. It kept him in this very limited view of the way that things could go in order for him to be happy. And he was so frustrated about it that it just sort of oozed. It just sort of oozed out of his pores, And that's okay, because we gave him space to vent. We gave him space to decompress, right? To throw up, to share. Because a lot of times we don't have that in our lives as men. We don't have an opportunity to get this out and to share it with someone and not be alone with it, and to pressure release. And so it was great for him to be able to have that time in a safe place, in a safe space where people listened and loved and challenged and said, okay, right? When he pushed back and was not receptive to any other options, okay, right? Because at the end of the day, he has to live with that. He's the one that has to come up with his own answers. He has to let go and be open and try something different. Whatever he's been trying for the longest time that hasn't been working, at some point he has to be the one who lets go of that and is ready to be open to some other possibility, ready to try something different, than what he's been trying to make work this whole time. And so anyway, it was one of those moments where it just kind of highlighted this concept that we have an internal world and we have an external world, right? And that the internal part is very uniquely ours. And while we can experience pain in life, we also can generate our own suffering. We can generate our own suffering through our thinking and through what we're not open to, we're not willing to accept, what we tell ourselves has to be. It has to go a certain way. These certain things have to happen in order for us to be happy. And that's just not true. It's just not true. And we need someone to challenge us, to ask us, is that true? Is that really true? And to give us a chance to reflect on our thinking and come up with our own answers. And that's what we do. That's what I do at mentoring.men. I have a community of men where we talk. We talk every week. We talk 3 times a week sometimes. We get together on Monday nights and Friday afternoons and Saturday mornings. Not everybody comes to every meeting, but it is an opportunity for men to get together and talk and to share and to vent and to pressure release and to be challenged and to consider other options and insights. And so as men, we need that. We need that brotherhood. We need that challenge. We need that love. So if that's something that you're interested in, something that you're missing in your life, because I know if you're watching this video, a lot of times a man watching this video doesn't have any friends. He works all the time. He's made his wife the center of his universe. He's not able to share things with her without her getting upset. He tries to internalize and pressurize and push down and hide all of the things that he's worried about and he's thinking about and he's frustrated about. And it just, like this gentleman at the meetup, it still just oozes out. It still just bubbles out, right? We think we're hiding it, but we're not. She can feel it. She knows it. And she doesn't really have the tools to fix it. And so we need a community of men. We need other men in our life that we can talk to. So I want to invite you to come over to mentoring.men and join us. All right? That's what I have for you today. I love you, brother. Bye.